this is like a breakdown for anyone needing to learn how they can create a system that pays for their own living through other means of their living. So like, you ask yourself, what do you need on a month-to-month basis? You're like, well, I need shelter, transportation, food, and clothing. So let's say, for example, your home, it goes like $5,000 a month. A breakdown is like $1,250 a week. You could break that down in 3 different ways. That's 3 days, 5 days, or 7 days. 3 days is $416 a day. 5 days is $250 a day. And 7 days is $178 a day for 7 days to maintain a $5,000 budget. Let me know should I restart?
Yeah, good.
Alright, cool. So basically, that's like a breakdown on how you would accomplish getting the 5K per month. So if you break it down in like terms of how many days you'd have to work, you could also break down your transportation in the same way. Let's say you have a car note and your insurance, $250 and $350, which is about, I said, like round up $600 a month. 600 divided by 4 weeks, that's $150 a week. And breakdown in days, that's $50 a day for 3 days. That's, for 5 days, it's $30 a day, and for 7 days, it's $22 a day. So basically, when you know all these breakdowns and stuff like that, even for your food, right? You could break down how much it is to cook at home versus get takeout. And if you were to say, give yourself a budget of $20 a day times 7, days a week, $140 dollars a week, times how, like at the max, there's sometimes 5-week months. So times 5 weeks at the max. If it's a 4-week month, it's $560. If it's a 5-week month, it's $700 a month that you would need just to be able to eat out every single month forever, or every day forever. And, if you know your numbers like this, it's freedom, because then it allows you to say, hey, I could literally eat out and do anything every single day, wherever it is, as long as it falls within these numbers. And if you know how to make that amount passively, like we could do in the form of dividends, that's how much it is to sustain your lifestyle. So we could create a dividend account that pays $700 a month reoccurring, and that allows you to eat out every single day that month forever. And that's kind of like what you could do. Simple math to break down every single transaction. And then if you do the above transactions, say your shelter, your transportation, and your food on a cash back card, so like cash back credit cards or cash back crypto cards or anything like that, you're going to get rewards for your purchases. So you can turn those rewards into dollars and then get clothing and other things with that, the premium items. So now you can live a premium lifestyle and get rewarded off paying your bills, like your phone bill, your mortgage, your car note, and everything by buying premium clothing. And so, yeah, paying your bills rewards you in premium clothing. It's kind of cool.
It's pretty cool.
Now to another financial breakdown. I also was looking at, say for a person here, you have a guy working a standard job. So you have your income coming in to your account here, your debit card, right? You have cash purchases, maybe you have some credit card purchases, and maybe you've got some loans. So your loan being your car, your house, stuff like that. Credit cards, maybe you have some lifestyle things, maybe you're buying some gas on there, groceries, stuff like that on your credit cards. And you're also doing the same thing with your cash. So ultimately you have this flow of cash of where it's going, right? But you see how money's coming in and he literally gets nothing at the end of it just to pay these debts. And again, if you're paying these are liabilities that over time depreciate, right? So your car is depreciating in value as you're putting finances inside of it. But what if we swap it up and now your job is going into an investment account, and this investment account is buying assets that accumulate and pay out dividends. Okay, so now these dividends are accumulating value. You borrow against that position every month to cover those monthly expenses that we calculated before. So you know your rent's 5K. You know your car is 600. You know your other stuff is X amount, whatever it is. So you take a loan out against that position every single month and you pay your bills, right? And now you get to keep dividends coming in every single month. You're getting reinvested into the account, increasing your monthly reoccurring dividends. You're also actually getting to keep an asset that is cash value and getting to use the cash for other purchases, your house, your shelter, your everything. And That's basically the full breakdown of like the financial situations of most. And then another thing I was doing with like a friend is I was just breaking down how many cars they had over their years, right? Like some cars they financed, some cars they bought cash, right? If your first car was $1,000, second car was $10K, third car was $30. It doesn't mean that each car they paid the full amount and paid it off. They just probably traded up. They probably did different things, right? But let's say, for example, if you did this method over time, you were buying M1 position, like stock positions and stuff like that, accumulating. So instead of buying these cars, what if you delayed your gratification? All these vehicles that they spent a total of $236,000 in the totality of these cars, right? So, and that's just the car note, not insurance. Insurance is usually like another double the cost. So if they had this amount spitting out dividends every month, bro, could you imagine that? Let's say,
$30,000 in dividends.
That'd be huge. Easily. Like, was it 30K? Was that the breakdown here? Let me go to the calculator. Just off a simplistic number, let's just take the 236,000 divided by, let's just say it was like $10 a share. Gets you 23,600 shares. And each share pays out 0.16 cents per share. That's $3,700, like almost $4K a month reoccurring in dividends. That almost pays that mortgage that we were talking about before. So basically you get almost a free mortgage and you have that money sitting in your account. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like the cost that we pay for not knowing and like doing delayed gratification is ridiculous. Just delete that. What was 17 from? I forgot. Oh, I think this was a car loan. I tried to do some math breakdowns for them. Like if they had a car loan at a certain percent over 72 months, how much they would have spent on that totally. I think it's $600 a month breakdown for 72 months, $43,000, which divided by $8 per share price would get you 5,400 shares. 5,400 shares paying you 16 cents per share is $864 a month. So you put $600 a month in for 72 months, not accounting for the compounded interest from month to month of accumulating those stocks. And at the end of 72 months, you will at least have $864 coming out every month in dividends. That part. That's what I'm saying. Delayed gratification is crazy, just not knowing this math. If you delayed getting your first car for 72 months, you put that money aside. You didn't pay the insurance, but you put that in a dividend stock. You would have a income printing machine to have a free car forever in the future. So yeah, that's basically it. And that's why like everything I see now is like, if I took out a loan for anything, why would I not just take that loan out, buy assets that pay me monthly, like buy a business, buy stocks, buy something, and now use that to create another income stream to then pay the loan position off. And then over time, I'm just sitting here managing systems that make money. So
it all starts with basically putting the money into the M1 account.
Yeah. Having some kind of asset that makes you money.
Okay. So say for my example, I work at Amazon.
Yep.
Get $560 a week.
Yep. $560 a week.
My rent and all my expenses are $1,200 total.
$1,200. Okay.
Take that money. I basically just take that money and put it into the M1 account.
Correct.
Then with that money in the M1 account, I take out a loan from the M1 account.
Correct.
To pay my monthly expenses of $1,200 each month.
What might be even more beneficial, it'd be dope if you have the ability to use a credit card, put all your bills on that credit card and pay that monthly credit card off all at once with the M1 position, so that way you get credit card rewards and also the benefit of using this.
So the Amazon paycheck.
Yep.
Then what do I do with that? I put that into the M1 account?
Yeah, basically instead of your checking account being the place where your money temporarily sits, you invest and buy these dividend stocks And then when you have the cash value that equals out, or the ability to borrow the cash value of what your monthly bills are, you will borrow against that position and it goes directly back to your checking account.
Okay.
So now your checking account is sitting with that cash value. So if you had the ability to pay your bills on a credit card, you could technically then flip it and pay that credit card right off with that cash value, or you could take that cash and then go pay the bill. So really up to you.
Okay, so I guess the question is getting a credit card that pays that you can use to pay your bills.
Yeah, one of those. Like that would be like, you know, the premium cards, those are like a little tough to do, but that would be a very advanced version of the system. And like even as it is, like if you were on a smaller level of that, you could at least use a credit card to pay, you know, what,
gas,
phone bill, gas, food, you know, all the other reoccurring stuff, electric, insurance, things like that, and then just get rewards for those purchases.
Right.
So if you can't get one that pays your mortgage, or your mortgage doesn't want to go on that or whatever, that's fine. There are premium cards that we've heard on like podcasts and stuff like that for it. But yeah, we'd start off where you can and just get rewards. Like if you start winning 3% a day or 3% a month on big transactions like that, you know, you're going to win overall the end of the year.
Right, because you're spending that money anyways. You're just spending it in cash. You're not getting any rewards for it.
Exactly.
But if you get a credit card that gives you 1%, 3% for everything that you spend, pay it all back, you're going to be making money to just buy the things that you need already.
Exactly. And especially if, like I said, those dividend positions, if they are good positions, and overall, like the ones I take out are all bigger. They pay out more than the interest that I would take out a loan for. So like if it's like a 7% self-paid loan, maybe like a 10%, 8% dividend payout. Anyway, so I'm gonna arbitrage that. 12% dividend, 16%, like 16 cents in the one share for the one stock. I just gotta keep making sure I buy these stocks on discounts, stack them as many as I can when they're red, and then just that's it.
Do you want to tell us a good stock that we should buy and pump the stock, bro?
Man, I don't know.
I don't think
do that right now.
No, not even one.
I mean, oh man.
Because wouldn't it work better for us if more people bought the stock? Then it would go up though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would go up. That's what
then it would be cheap. Then it wouldn't be cheap for us to buy the stock anymore. Right. So you guys might have to just Google dividend-paying stocks.
How about this? We'll give you guys the stock. We'll give you a choice stock if you join the Better Mind Society.
Ooh.
Yeah. Join the Better Mind Society and we'll give you...
Join the free Discord.
Yeah.
The link is in the description. We'll give you a free stock, a free dividend stock.
Get the best, the choice. Teach you how to buy income every month.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's
there we
good.
go.
That's good.
So yeah, that's it. That's the breakdown of financial freedom.
Nice. So you got me thinking now. I pay my cousin... I pay her through Cash App. I wonder if Cash App's got a credit card that I could use, and maybe they earn some type of points or something, possibly.
Maybe. I mean, with that same thing being said, like the credit card from Cash App, I know that there's like the crypto.com credit cards, so you could take maybe loan positions against crypto. Yeah. So like, I started to try to cook and figure out how many different leverage positions I can create. And like, yeah, it's gonna be
not only the M1 account, but also different forms of leverage with credit.
Yep, just trying to figure out how they work. Yeah. If I can win small percentages everywhere, I'm not losing small percentages everywhere. That's what I see.
You got this from that video that I sent you with the credit cards?
The credit cards?
Yeah.
After I saw that, I just started thinking, bro.
That's what he did. He took because he was already in credit card debt. Somehow he opened up more credit cards, used those credit cards to pay off the credit cards that he had.
Yep.
And now he's like multi-millionaire.
Thing about that, I thought about that too. Like, some of these cards, they have different statement dates and paid by dates. And if you understand the difference, this is a long video now, but if you understand the difference between the statement date and the paid by date, well, the statement date, they're making the statements and reporting everything. So if you have one card that you can take cash advances from, you could technically cash advance from that card after the statement date goes, so it reports that you didn't borrow anything. Then the next day you borrowed all of it, and you paid another card off. And now technically that card, when it reports that you had a paid off balance Well, guess what? You can cash advance on that one and pay off another. So you
almost like a circle going.
Yeah, and I've seen some people do that until they fully pay off the entirety of their loans because they're offsetting getting that 24, 25, 29% sometimes interest rate smacked because they're getting reported. So you know your dates, you can avoid getting charged those rates. Ooh, that is fire right there.
But you'd have to pay that card off before the statement balance comes through, and then you get the percentage.
Yeah, you'd still be paying technically whatever the card advance rate is, but usually it's like, 3% versus like a 29% on the interest.
Right.
So whatever that would be. But yeah, you technically would have an overall payoff in the end. You'd still have to pay it off. But all you're doing is offsetting how many times you can smack with interest.
Yeah, so that even in a situation like that, let's say I have a card that I owe $1,000. I have one card that has a balance that I can use. It's paid off. If I took that card that's paid off, used it to pay off some of the balance from the $1,000 card, maybe say $200 off the $1,000 card, and then now there's $200 on side of the card that's paid off. Now there's $800 that I'm only getting hit with $800 of interest instead of $1,000 of interest. And then if I didn't pay off the card that was $200 that I used to pay that $200, I'd only be getting hit with I'd still be getting hit with that 20-something% interest, or for that $200 that I used. It'd still be, so
you just gotta, you talking about
it's still be,
it's all about statement dates.
Yeah, if I paid it off before the statement date, then I get out interest free.
Right. So you just gotta make sure that they're not reporting that you owed a balance. If they report that you're owing a balance, they're also reporting, hey, because you owed a balance, it's the interest on that balance. So if they're reporting that there was no overcarry balance, they're still going to report that there was transaction history. During the month, hey, look, there was a cash advance. But, or whatever type of movement. But overall, you didn't carry balance.
So I wonder how that works. How do you use a credit card to pay off another credit card? Do you have to cash advance it?
Yeah. So they have that.
Walk into the bank, say, hey, here's my credit card.
Financial advice. You could do, some cards have cash balances. You could transfer your balance
from one card to the other.
Yeah, from one card to another. Sometimes they're free. If you start up with a new card, they sometimes have like a 12-month interest-free period where you can balance transfer and pay off those balances with no interest. So just looking into different credit options and knowing how to leverage those things. But again, a lot of if you pay 3%, eventually you're going to pay the totality of what that is added up over time, which could, in essence, depending on how long you're offsetting this, I guess I'm not going to knock whatever situation you're in. If you got to offset it like that to make ends meet, go ahead, do it.
What do you mean 3%?
Like, say for example, it's like a 3% cash advance, charge, right?
Yeah.
If you do that every month, and that's the only way you're able to actually pay your bills, just moving money around from card to card, eventually you're paying hella in interest, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta eventually have a plan to pay things off.
Right.
Don't just be like, I'm just moving shit around. You just add 2%, it's just at a slower rate than 29% this month, 29% next month. You're slowly digging a hole, but it's just a lot extra effort now.
Yeah.
So just, again, make sure your goal is to pay off and get out of debt, but just learning that it's more of a game. And a lot of the things that I learned, when you sent that podcast, bro, I didn't know, a lot of things that I knew about or thought about that was not necessarily, not that, but how many times you apply, a hard inquiry, a soft inquiry. None of that shit matters. It doesn't really matter. You're inquiring about credit. Of course you're gonna shop around for good rates. They know that. They're not gonna be, hard inquiry. Yeah, it's gonna hit your score because you've inquired. But that's like, you go open the refrigerator and now your social credit score goes down because you were curious what's in the fridge. It's like a similar concept like that. Because you're curious and asking, you're not going to really get smacked so far. You know what I'm saying? You're shopping around for rates. Whereas carrying a balance or paying things off on time carry heavier than those things.
Right.
So that's about it.
Did you apply to any of those credit cards that he was talking about, or
Not
did you?
yet.
What kind of credit cards do you have?
So I had just a couple very basic ones that I've had since starting my credit journey and starting high school,
Yeah,
so
same.
yeah, so I still gotta
You still haven't advanced quite yet making your rounds about that, so okay.
Right. But I know of the games now.
You know they're out there.
And now I'm like, oh, that's fun. That's gonna be some, I'm starting to leverage things like this, like I said before, become your own bank. And so now, I'll know, hell, if I just open up a ton of those cards and just have them open, that's credit allocation, but do not use it, right? Now, all of a sudden you've got 10K on a card that you're never using. Now your credit allocation's super low. You know what I'm saying? You can put a yearly annual subscription for just one of your websites or whatever on there, just so there's card activity once a year, and just have it set for auto pay. And so then you're just chilling. So that's what I think most of it's gonna be. It's I might just have each of these businesses even have just a card that's just open, has all the business expenses set on annual, and then just it'll pay itself off. So just pay its business expense, pay it off when it's due. That's it. So that way the credit allocation is there. I just don't have to always tap it.
Sick. Yeah, those some good ideas, man. We had talked about this idea about this M1 account before, using leverage, using dividend-paying stocks to leverage to pay for everything. This is a good refresher.
Oh yeah, hey, thanks. Yeah. Like I said, I've been sharpening it and making it more refined now that I've unlocked the ability to actually use it. So that's the fun thing. Yeah. Now I see oh man, literally say if someone wants to get out of debt, this is gonna be a whole other sequence. If someone wants to get out of debt, you can pay your minimums through the M1. So for example, again, it is deferring technically because now you are taking another loan position out to pay your loan position. But let's say for example, if you owe on a card, and this card is destroying you at interest, and you're trying to get out of owing that card any money. You take your M1 account. You put, let's say your minimum payment right now, because you've racked up so much debt, is $150, $200 almost, right? So maybe per month, you have the ability to put $500 into your M1 account in there. You buy $500 worth of assets. You then borrow against that position at that 8%, but you dump that 5 on that card. So now you're hitting it harder than you would have before at just that bare minimum 200. You do that again, you do that again, you do that again. You eventually pay that card off. Do not use it, you know what I'm saying? But leverage lower interest payments over to the M1 to pay on that more, and then pay your M1 back at the lower interest rate. You know what I'm saying? And that just leveraging who you pay at different rates and different times. Because as you pay these off, you're going to be offered more opportunities for credit, which you could probably then leverage to then get more assets and stuff like that. So,
Sick.
Yeah, the whole system.
Nice. All right, guys. That's Credit 101 with Tyler, man. And M1 account.
You want to be this guy right here. Happy?
He's happy.
Yeah, he's happy.
That bag. He's putting it in the M1 accounts. He's working his dead end job, but he's getting him where he wants to be.
Yeah, and this guy up here, same guy, but he is not. He's not happy.
He's just a slave.
Just a slave. Because everything he works for just goes out to debtors and everything else.
Right.
So
sick.
There we have it.
All right, that's that.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, check us out at the Better Mind Society. Got tons of more concepts like this.
Yeah, tap into the Discord, get that free dividend stock. We're gonna give you guys. We'll not give you it, but we're gonna tell you which one to buy.
Right. Absolutely. We'll tell you which ones are in there. Again, not financial advice. Gotta say that just for disclaimers.